Thank you for tuning into the latest episode of the Splashcast, your go-to podcast for news and discussion in the world of sports. And here we go. So y'all see the little background, you know what I mean? Threw up the Dion jersey, got it signed, gotta have it. Threw up the picture next to it, speaks for itself. Then I also have over here, I have the Braves, and you can't really see it, Falcons and Hawks and Bulldogs. Let me tell you something. All of them right now, aside from maybe the Bulldogs, are just heartburn. The Braves are 1-8, y'all. Now, there's context to it, and we'll get into it. But harsh reality, the Braves, as of today, are 1-8. We are last in the National League East, and
no. We're last in the Major League Baseball, and we don't have a cheap roster, and we have a bunch of good players. We do get Sean Murphy back, I think, coming up here pretty soon. Of course, Ronnie, we're still waiting on him, but this team is good. This team is good without Murphy and Acuna. And well,
okay.
The team is supposed no, I'm not getting away from that. The roster is good. The play has been bad.
The hitting, the lineup is good. The pitching has been sus for a couple years. We lost Max Fried. We did not replace him. I don't even think we've gotten Spencer Strider back yet. I don't believe.
No.
He have not gotten Spencer Strider back.
And I think AJ are both doing like relief assignments, preparing to come back, which they pitch well in, which gives you some fine, hope.
But they're not here now.
Right.
So all you have is Chris Sale, right? We traded Ian Anderson last week. Even though he really wasn't playing, but he was supposed to be part of the overall overhaul of the pitching staff 3 years ago when we knew we were going to be in this predicament. We bringing back Jesse Chavez because our bullpen is still ass. Our bullpen is still ass.
Now,
like the moves that you don't make, I said it with the Hawks. I said it with the Falcons. I'm saying it with the Braves. The moves that you don't make that are obvious always come back to bite you in the ass.
Now, within that, I will say MLB did us no favors
at all.
They did give us the haymaker to begin with, which once again, y'all know how I feel about numbers. It's going to be a positive regression, negative regression. So if you pay early, you'll get your money back later. I'm a firm believer of that. And I kind of feel conflicted. I would have rather played some easy games earlier since we are not 100% and then see what we look like later in the season. But if we can get into later in the season and have our guys and have an easy schedule, then for me, I feel like we get rolling going into the playoffs, which is much more important than these early season games. We did beat Miami 10-0. Whooped that ass. Then came back and lost 4-0. We played them again. It was postponed on Sunday. Now, unfortunately, it does not get any better for us. The Phillies are 7-2, and we played them 3 games in a row, which is not fantastic. And then we get Tampa Bay Devil Rays, who are 4-5. But this first Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, oh man, oh my God.
Yeah, you made us play the NLCS teams. Which is, just out the gate, first 7 games. And then we lost Profar for 80 game suspension. Remember that? So, we didn't get any favors done. I do believe the numbers will even out, but the offense is struggling. Our roster is built to have heavy bats, pause if necessary. We are supposed to be able to score a ton of runs and rely on 1 or 2 aces and then be able to just outpace everybody else.
Right.
Right now, I think we're batting as a team 250. Like we're not killing it.
It is terrible.
There is a silver lining though. the Braves in recent history have not been good front runners.
Right.
We will win all the regular season awards and we will break all the records and score, and then we lose in the first or second round.
What?
Now, when we're the underdog, we won the World Series. We made the World Series. Now, we made the World Series a couple times as the underdog, and we won the World Series as an underdog. So
now it ain't gonna be.
We play better from behind.
It ain't gonna be no underdogging because of Philly and the Mets and us. Like, at the end of the day, it was understood on day one that all three teams are gonna be good, swinging. Yeah, so we're not surprising anybody. Hey, we're good. We knew. We knew on day one. Don't try that. But just keep the Braves in y'all prayers, man. 1-8 is not how I foresaw this thing, as y'all know. Specifically, at least Reggie has the Bulldogs. At this point, I got one team, and I can't even say nothing about them right now.
I told you. I said when we talked about the Braves briefly during the offseason, I was like, bro, have you seen our schedule? Our first the 15 games we play all teams that beat us.
Hey, man,
that's who we play.
Let's get them now, get them on out the way, and move on.
Dive into some exciting opportunities with us. The Splashcast is now open for brand partnerships, advertisements, and sponsorships. We want your business to make a splash with our audience. Picture your brand reaching all of our loyal and passionate listeners who love our weekly content. From HBCU news around the culture to our splashes of the week, we cover it all. If you're looking for a dynamic platform to showcase your products or services, look no further. Reach out to us at diveteammedia@gmail.com. That's diveteammedia@gmail.com. Or visit our website at www.thesplashcast.com for more details.
Here we go. We're now going to move into what we call Hawks Talk. I want to call this blood pressure time, stress, whatever it is. It's something. The Hawks had a rough week. They lost to Dallas on a buzzer beater. And this is the same day that Shohei Ohtani hit the walk-off home run on us. This is a rough day to lose to two Hall of Famers. Anthony Davis hit the game winner. Shohei Ohtani hit the game winner. I want to hear what you think about this game before I tell you about my thoughts on this game.
Talking about Dallas?
Yes.
I don't think about it. I mean, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of playing down. I'm tired of being inconsistent. I'm tired. That's what this Dallas game. There you go. That's my answer. This game made me tired because you saw what was happening. You saw what was about to happen. Like, it's not like this game was a huge back and forth, whatever. We were kind of winning this game. And then
we'll give away a third quarter like it's nobody's business.
Quinn, bro, I ain't even gonna say you need. I just want middle ground, and we're middle ground everywhere else. But in the third quarter, we are ass, and I can't even say I want us to win the third quarter anymore because we rarely ever win it. Either win it or we get blown out. Either we score 40 or we score 8. So I just need you to be mid. If we would probably be out of the play-in if we were just mid in the third quarter. Just mid. I don't even need you to be good. Just be mid. Be 15 and 15. Shoot 40%. You just need to be mid in the third quarter, and we are out of the play-in. We're probably a 6 or 5 seed.
It's so we're missing what I think most people consider our second best player. I personally think our best player, and I think they're missing their.
Talking about Jalen Johnson?
Yes, I think they're missing their best player, the Mavericks.
No, AD played.
No, or second best. I'm talking about Kyrie.
Yeah, but AD is the one that will give us problems.
Right, and he did, but outside of that, we let too many regulars. Spencer Dinwiddie can't have 14 and 10. That can't happen. I mean, Clay had 17 points, 11 shots. Daniel Gafford, 11 points, 5 of 7. Max Christie didn't shoot it well, still had 11. And then Jaden Hardy. I don't know what we can do to get much better than what we are. Okongwu had 20 and 14.
Yeah, but he's also going against AD.
Yes. So 20 and 14 against AD, I'm happy with. You can't really ask for more from him. And in his minutes, he's +6.
But Dominic Barlow is our backup center. Well, Capella's not playing. Capella has checked out.
Yeah, Barlow only played 8 minutes. Quinn has he leaves a lot to be desired with rotations. And I just question his decision making. I don't know. We're starting to get to a point where the team's not terrible, but the team's also not good as it should be. And even if you add Jalen Johnson, I don't know if it answers the Quinn problems. Now, if you add Jalen Johnson, then you're probably taking Barlow out. You move Muhammad Gay to like the 4 or 5 backup position, which is more suited for him. But I still don't know. Well, yes, until this final game against Utah, Muhammad Gay has always played the 4. But I think that he should have been playing Muhammad Gay and Dominic Barlow together because their skill sets kind of balance each other out. I have a lot of questions about Quinn's decision making. And I'm going to say it again, even though I don't know people don't want to hear it. This is another 25 and 12 game where, I mean, he's only -1. So it's not like it was terrible, but I just don't know if you can win with Trae Young being your best player or being your primary ball handler. Let me say it that way.
As bad as that game was, the game I watched on my birthday was infuriating. That game against Portland where we lost to 2 people, we lost to Danny Avdija and Shaedon Sharpe.
No.
That I think I texted you. I said, man, the Hawks are annoying. There's no reason we should have lost that game. There's no reason we should have lost that game.
I talk like, now I'm going to toot my own horn here, but I'm going to toot my own horn and I'm going to be honest. I told y'all coming out that Denny was the guy to watch. Then he went to Washington and it just took his whole time in Washington to figure it out. And towards the end, he was kind of putting up these 20-7 games, but they traded him. I think that Denny's a really good basketball player. He's what you're looking for as a guy who's 6'7", 6'8", who can dribble, pass, and shoot. He can score from different levels.
You might get Josh Giddey.
Yeah, yes, all of those guys. And we don't. And the issue with Portland is they have a bunch of big guards because they got Blanton, who's like 6'8", 6'9", too. And if you put a bunch of big guards against us, Dyson can't guard everybody. Whoever Dyson isn't guarding is going to crush you. And they're going to pick on Trae. And unfortunately, that's why I'm not sure if there are a lot of situations where you can win with Trae, because you have to have the exact right person in order for him to flourish. And that person got to not need the ball too. We lost.
I mean, that's the same thing you could say with a lot of stars.
Not to the same, because there are not that many guys that are that small. That's really the issue.
Stature always plays a role, but I mean, having to build a team around have a certain type of player to build around a team or build around a superstar is par for the course nowadays. I mean, that's Giannis, that's LeBron. Like LeBron can't have no primary ball handler except for him. He got Luka now at the end of his career, but in his prime, he was the point guard. So
yes.
I mean,
But you don't
kinda gotta
also
build
have to
the team
worry
around.
about teams picking on LeBron defensively. And even
Well, I mean, that's part of that is coaching too. It's Trae, but we talked about it. Steph and James Harden get out the way. They just get out the way. They're also hidden very well. They just put us in the pick and roll, and we don't have no counter for nothing.
but I mean, if you look at it, look at what we got right now. Okongwu. I mean, the other issue is you maybe have to get rid of Okongwu, and
You need a bigger center. You need a bigger center. Every
because
time
if
we go
you
against a 7-foot guy, we get killed.
we
Carl
are
Towns have 30 and 11.
we're doing that a lot of we're putting these stats up. Okongwu, if you look at Okongwu's stats, he's really playing the best basketball he's ever played, and he's really just playing that because he gets more minutes. But he's not embarrassing himself out there. He's not getting torched. And then you're looking at Trae, who this is probably the best adult Trae season we've had. He hasn't scored as much as he has in the past, but he's been more mature than ever. And that's my concern is it just might not be able to work. We played against the Knicks with no Jalen
30 and
Brunson.
11.
They whooped our ass. And that was a bad game for Okongwu. 27 minutes, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, 4 fouls. But
Karl-Anthony Towns is difficult for him to guard. OG Anunoby has drank some deer antler spray and steroids because in the last 3 weeks, he has been he just realized I'm bigger and stronger than everybody. They targeted Zachary Ricochet the whole game. And it was OG Anunoby driving to the basket, putting his shoulder in Ricochet, Barlow, and Muhammad Gay's chest. And there was nothing you could do about it because Okongwu, who tried to help, had to stick with Karl-Anthony Towns. And they hit at one point, they were shooting 74% from 3 in the third quarter. I was like, oh, bro, it's over.
Well, hold on. First quarter, 38-31. Second quarter, 40-22. Boy, we were cooked. Goose cooked. Game over at half. We actually, kept up with him kept up. Yeah. So, and I hate that because we were so long before we got rid of basically everybody. We were always better than the Knicks.
The Knicks made good moves.
Now, that's where I don't think so. They made
good. You could question the Michael Bridges, but I mean the move to get Cat was a pretty good move. Getting Jalen Brunson, pretty good move.
Oh, Brunson was a great move.
OG
and Mikal Bridges. OG and Mikal Bridges, where I have a lot of questions. I think they're gonna have to try to undo one of those.
Mikal Bridges is the one because nobody's gonna take OG's contract. 1, 2, OG right now is the way he's playing right now. He's a better finisher at the rim than Mikal Bridges. Is that sustainable? We don't know because OG leg be falling off every year.
What's the date? I don't want to say that, but it's right around this time where it gets interesting. So, and you're right.
He got hurt though. He been hurt. So he got a little
very
rest.
moment, Mikal Bridges, and you're not. What you think you're gonna give him, Mikal Bridges?
Ooh, they talk about trading him to
where?
They talk about getting Kevin Durant. I would be so angry if they did that to me.
They're not doing that. If I'm Phoenix, I'm not taking Bridges back. I want OG.
You want the contract? Okay. If I'm New York, cool.
They're not. I mean, you're right. Mikal Bridges.
Cool. I get KD for cheaper.
Right.
I go get another defensive player. I get 2.
No, Mikal Bridges. You better.
Don't matter. We not signing him for $200 million. KD gonna get 3 years, 150.
No, he ain't.
He ain't even gonna get that 3 years. 120.
No, more than no. That media money finna go up, bro. He even get at least 60. Still
2 years. Okay.
I mean, you're right. I mean, you're the Knicks. Whatever it costs, you pay it. Honestly, you're the Knicks. This is as good as it's probably ever going to be. And you got to try to win a championship, because if you do, then y'all are the greatest ever. So yeah, you're right. I mean, it should be interesting, but I think this year is going to be very indicative of they traded for regular season wins instead of playoff wins. And that, I don't know how that's going to go over.
They wasn't getting neither.
Yeah, but I think there could have been like, they just don't have a bench now. You don't have no bench. You don't have no extras. You got to win with them 5 guys you got, 5.5 guys you got, Mitch Robinson. And if they don't get it done, woo-wee, it is garbage. But once
their legs
again,
fell off. We talked about it last week. Their legs fell
not
off.
my problem. And then
Not
we
my
played.
problem.
That's a slap too. We beat the Utah Jazz 147-134. This is not good. This is one of the worst wins of the season. Now, offensively, did we do everything that we were supposed to? Sure. Scored a bunch of points. Once again, if you play the Atlanta Hawks, what you probably going to do? Get a career high. Keontae George, 35 points.
Isaiah Collier, too, right there. He was right. Isaiah Collier, I haven't got a chance to watch the Jazz all year, for real. I know you have. I haven't. Isaiah Collier he played like little OG Anunoby. I don't know if he watched film. I don't know if they figured it out. He just barreled into everybody and got out the way. And every kid now that comes into the league has a jelly package where they can, lay the ball up from wild angles. I was like, bro, he's cooking. They just can't stop a nosebleed on defense. They can't stop nothing.
Well, no. That's the trick bag. Danny Ainge is hiding everything. What you probably didn't notice was they played with Johnny Juzang and Kyle Filipowski as their bigs.
No,
they're both threes.
Barbecue. I said barbecue.
Yes. But what I'm saying is Johnny Juzang is probably like a fringe NBA player. I think the Flip is probably at this point like a 7th, 8th man. There is a real situation where the Utah Jazz can be better than the Atlanta Hawks next season.
We don't make any moves for sure.
I mean, they didn't play. Walker Kessler out with a concussion. John Collins, they're just hiding him at this point. And Lauri Markkanen. If they play with those 3 players, they beat us.
Every time.
And God forbid, Cooper Flag.
They'll get rid of John Collins. They get Cooper Flag.
They'll get rid of Lauri first. Cooper Flag and Lauri basically do the same thing, and Lauri can't rebound. If you could put Walker, John Collins, Cooper Flag, Keontae George, and Isaiah Collier out there together.
You telling me you could have 2 Lauri Markkanens and one is a better that you have 2 iterations of Lauri and one can rebound?
I could pay John Collins pennies on the dollar what I can pay Lauri Markkanen. I can trade Lauri Markkanen for draft picks. Yes, John Collins is a better basketball player than Lauri Markkanen, and I can say that now because they played on the same team next to each other the entire season. John Collins has been better from day one to the end of the season. And there's just a bet.
John Collins. They kind of doing him like the Hawks, like, and he's doing it to the whole team. Yes, but they just don't say they don't. He's 20-10, and they don't say nothing about.
I think that I think what I see Danny Ainge trying to do is hide an asset. He's like, oh, okay, I got John. You can probably pay John what you've been paying him too. I'll keep paying you $25 million a year. I can trade Lauri Markkanen and that big ass contract for a person who can only really score. He don't really facilitate and he really don't rebound. And there are teams who need him. He still be good. Hey, whatever the Bucks would love to have a Lauri Markkanen and Giannis. They could just terrorize you.
Right there, yeah.
Right. They could just terrorize you. So, and I mean, the rest of the NBA don't know. So yeah, Lauri Markkanen's a better asset. Or hey, I'll trade him to Golden State. Well, maybe not. Probably not with a Jimmy Butler contract. But there are going to be people who are going to be interested in Lauri Markkanen just infinitely more than John Collins. So yeah, if I got a Lauri Markkanen on a rookie contract, and I can get John Collins, like who would be like the veteran on a $25 million contract for 4 years. Oh, we can pay everybody now, and I get draft picks. Danny Ainge finna build him a new powerhouse in Utah.
He's there. They've got it. So yeah, I mean, we beat the Jazz. We knew we were gonna beat the Jazz. We're in the play-in. We by losing to teams we shouldn't have lost to, we are firmly in the play-in. And we got to play everybody. All the teams in the play-in are playing better basketball than us right now.
The Bulls for sure. The Magic
The Heat
depend
had
on the
won like
day.
7 in a row. They done won like 7, 8 in a row, including against us.
Right.
But yeah, Trae's franchise season assist leader. I mean,
842 past Doc Rivers is the most assists in a single season in Atlanta Hawks history. It's great, but I feel like all these records and stats, they raise the expectation.
Oh,
Look, most 20 and 10 a game per season, 2024, Joker 32, Trae 31, 2023, Luka 34, Trae 29, 2022-23, Trae 32, Joker 25, 21-22, Trae 32, James Harden 23. So I feel like these stats ain't gonna do nothing but get somebody fired. But there's literally nobody left to fire. You can't. If you fire Quinn, then Trae is a coach killer. That's 3 coaches.
No, I think this is the last iteration. I think they still have more moves to make this offseason. Because I remember I told you the trade that we made, while it does help us this year, I've conceded that. I still think that's an offseason trade. That's a trade that you make because you know that you're trying to free up some money. Because one, you got to figure out how you can pay Trae, but also convince him to stay by adding talent. Because we ain't got no draft pick, so you got to sign somebody.
I think that the thing is I don't know. There was 1.5 assets. Bogey wasn't playing good enough for you to sell him, and Hunter was playing well, but now you have Niang has played well, Terance Mann has played well, and Karis LeVert has played well. So you could probably trade maybe Terance Mann, and I think that out of the 3, LeVert is the best player.
I think his contract expired.
Yeah, but I think that it would be reasonable for him to re-sign. I think you could talk him. I think he's had a resurgence in Atlanta. This has been good for him, for sure. Mm-hmm. I think that it might be in his best interest to stick around in Atlanta. And I think that there's value in that. Sometimes just, hey, man, you want to be somewhere where you can do what you want to, and kind of on that second unit, he can cook. He's basically got the bogey. Go out there, hey, shoot all the shots you want to, do everything you want to. Nobody gonna bother you.
Yeah. I think, like I said it last year, and I said it last year with the injuries. I said it this year when they got Ricochet. They're gonna give this another year or 2. They're gonna give this another year or 2. I think Ricochet, especially with Ricochet, the way he's playing the last 2 months, they gonna have to get, because Jalen Johnson makes this team scary. Jalen Johnson makes this team.
Well, I mean, the harsh reality is Trae's the movable asset. At this point, Dyson Daniels is going to be defensive first team. He's going to be probably most improved player, and he should be defensive player of the year. You can't trade him. Zachary Ricochet, like you said, for the last 2 months, really since All-Star, has been everything that you can ask for in a basketball player. Jalen Johnson is on a fantastic contract. He might be the best value player in the NBA right now for his skill set and the fact that you have him on a contract. And I mean, then it becomes a Kungwu and Trae. Now, you could very much so trade a Kungwu because if you look at his stats, he's another guy who would be great next to Giannis. He has a ton of value.
Play the 4 still.
Exactly. But when you have,
there's your Kevon Looney replacement right there.
Exactly. So, and he just plays so hard and tough. And if you could just, but the thing about Golden State and reason really don't work is you don't have a big 4 to go with him. You need a large 4 if you're going to have him play the 5. Or, I mean, honestly, Rockets, if you want to move, you can have Sengun play the 4, have Okongwu play the 5, and move Jabari Smith.
Send us Jabari.
But we don't have.
No, because we got Mo Gay. But then that Mo Gay would be
Mo Gay. Whoa, no. Mo Gay and Jabari ain't in the same conversation. But we'll be out there with 2 power forwards. And I mean, I don't know what that looks like either. And I don't think that he's, even though he's a little bit bigger, I don't think he's tougher than a Kungwu. So he don't really solve our problem. But you might be looking at a 3-team deal. But what I'm saying is there are plenty of places that you can find a guy where a Kungwu works. Oh, Orlando. I don't think we would trade him to Orlando, but he would be perfect in Orlando.
Yep. So, I mean, I fully expect for the Hawks. Oh, yeah, we said that. We talked about Ricochet. He's 12.8, 4.2. If he had been playing the way he'd been playing before the All-Star break, he would win the Rookie of the Year. But they are fully pushing Stephon Castle to be Rookie of the Year. I've seen so many quotes in the last 2 weeks from him versus the whole year. I was like, okay, I see where this is going.
I feel like the Spurs I think they rushed it. And now you probably like, man, I don't need Fox. I don't need him. He's kind of in the way now. Because he's not a 2.
He's a 1.
Right. And Castle is the 1 in San Antonio.
Now they're gonna try to play Castle off the ball.
Man, I see Fox in assets. Hey, what y'all want? What you want for him? I can help you out. I can help you give me some players back. Because especially with his second apron now, it is going to be infinitely more valuable to have a bunch of guys than to try to have a bunch of stars. Because you can only have 2, maybe 3 real stars at a time. But once again, congratulations, Ricochet, for winning Rookie of the Month. This is Dyson Daniels also won Defensive Player of the Month for the Eastern Conference. I think that he is getting jobbed in the absolute worst way as far as Defensive Player of the Year. He's playing, his stats are like 80s, 90s defense. And he's just not getting enough credit. And now somehow Draymond has snuck into first place.
Bruh. I was mad when they said Evan Mobley should be Defensive Player of the Year. He's winning it hands down. I was like, dog, he's playing well. But he's also playing next to Jared Allen, so he's not guarding your best post player. And then Draymond, cool. He got Jimmy, which helps him out infinitely on defense. Dyson Daniels, we all agree that Trae ain't no matter, and Trae's been playing his ass off on defense.
Nobody's playing with a worse defender than Trae.
And Trae's been playing his ass off compared to the last years.
Oh, yeah.
But Dyson Daniels is better than everybody when it comes to defense. I was watching him play defense. I was like, bro, he look like Ed Reed out there. Like, he's just his knack for defense is like prime LeBron. Y'all remember prime LeBron? when he would just play the passing lanes and all that. Him and D Wade, the Heatles. That's how Dyson Daniels plays. He's doing stuff that they haven't seen since.
And frustrating the best basketball players in the world at 21 years old. I think that the only person who has the only two players to have more than 350 career steals at the age of 21 is Dyson and LeBron. And you remember LeBron came directly from high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Terance Mann has been elected as the new general manager for the assistant general manager, for the Florida State Seminoles. This is after last week when Trae was named the assistant general manager for the Oklahoma Sooners. Congratulations to both. These are both kind of interesting situations to me. I don't know exactly what that entails, but I also understand it's a good figurehead thing. Hey man, this is the guy who we got. And Florida State, they got a bunch of players in the NBA at the same time. Jonathan Isaac, Scotty Barnes, Florida State, all your defensive stoppers, that's where they at.
Mm-hmm. They've had it. The coach just retired. We talked about that a few episodes ago. But they've always had it. They've always had it. Our own Facebook page for an immersive experience like never before. Get in on the action with lively discussions, fiery debates, and a community that's as passionate as you are. Our social media platforms are buzzing with the latest podcast news, exclusive updates, and behind-the-scenes sneak peeks. Don't miss out on the chance to connect with fellow Splashcast enthusiasts. Dive into the conversation, share your thoughts, and be part of something bigger. Find us on Instagram and Facebook, or go to www.splashcast.com to join now. All right. So we got a few things we'll talk about. Football, nothing too crazy. Falcons. Julio Jones has retired. He announced his retirement. Interesting. He shared a heartfelt message and thanked every organization he played for except the Atlanta Falcons. He thanked the city of Atlanta, which lends credence to, hey, Julio and the Falcons, he got real beef.
It's not good. And I want to not, as a person who's not in it, I want y'all to work it out. I really want y'all to work it out. But it definitely looks crazy right now.
He ain't minced no words. He ain't had no red and black on or nothing.
No. Yeah, it's saddening to me, to say the least. But
all these comments about by Matt Ryan, who's been bigging up Julio for the last year or two. I think Matt is trying to play liaison, and he's trying to get in between and salvage the friendship. Matt is aligning himself as an Atlanta Falcon for the rest of his life.
And let's be real here, man. He's a good dude, man. Matt, he's putting in the effort to try to fix this relationship, which I don't think that he broke. And also, you saw where he's coming back to try to coach up Michael Penix.
He's aligning himself with the organization.
You gotta appreciate a guy who, and I mean, we ain't always make it easy in Atlanta for him, and the Atlanta fans don't treat him the best. But
because he was Mike Vick's replacement, you came in between a rock and a hard spot, bro.
For sure. And it's all the love that we give to Kirk Cousins about being the consummate professional. I feel like Matt Ryan deserves the same amount of respect.
So I'm they're gonna induct Julio at some point. I don't know when. They're not gonna induct him without him being there, but they're gonna induct him into the Ring of Honor at some point. I'm interested to see his Hall of Fame speech.
I disagree there. Be at least do your part. Just this is the day we've chosen to induct you. If you don't show up, you kind of put the ball back in his court.
We'll see. I'm interested to see his Hall of Fame speech.
I wonder what it is and who is. It can't be. It's got to be Arthur Blank.
Yeah,
Everybody else is gone.
yeah, it's something. So, yeah, it's Arthur Blank. Assuming, or Rich McKay. Rich McKay might be the guy.
Right.
Because Rich McKay is
But-
the guy that made a lot of unilateral decisions.
But even Rich McKay got put on the back burner after.
He's still there. It don't matter who get the. If you do me wrong at the company, I don't care where you move him to.
Right.
If he ain't fired, it's FU.
I
It is up.
really thought about somebody who I have beef with in an organization. I was like, you know what? I still don't.
I still don't like you.
Not
So
one
we'll
bit.
see. We'll see. But shout out to Julio again. He retired. He announced his retirement. We did sign Dee Alford. Interesting signing. Interesting signing with Dee Alford because he was our starting nickelback last year. Famously, his biggest highlight, even though he played decent, was getting spun around like a dreidel by Justin Jefferson.
Oh, dreidel, level. I mean,
So
that type of stuff to me is life, bro. You ain't the only one.
yeah, but his looked the worst though, because he was looking the other way for the ball. Remember?
Cook,
And
hey,
then he fell.
if you put it in a pan and sear it, or you put it in an air fryer and air fry it, it's cooked either way. You were cooked.
No, but the presentation was different, brother. Presentation
But said you was fried and fricasseed, my boy.
But this signing, though, for real about Dee Alford is interesting because Raheem Morris just last week said we're gonna rock with your boy as the nickelback, the one you would want to play. Yeah, Clark Phillips. He said we're gonna roll Clark Phillips out there and roll him at the nickelback. And then they come back this week and re-sign Dee Phillips. I mean Dee Alford. I'm sorry, Dee Alford. They already are talking about our front office is inept. I don't know if it's our front office. I do think that they have a plan of some sort, but the communication to the media is awful. Why would you say we're gonna roll Clark Phillips out there and this is what we're doing, and we sign Mike Hughes and then come back and sign the person that Clark Phillips couldn't overtake for the position?
We do a lot of double talk, a ton of it, more than I think most other teams. Period. And I don't know if they're trying to be mercurial and just send mixed signals. I still think that I see a lot of the mock drafts where Will Johnson is available. I really think that might be a good pick for us. I see skepticism in your face. Tell me more.
Because it's getting closer to the draft. And for the last 4 drafts, the news that comes out towards the end of the draft that comes out of nowhere normally happens. Last year, it was Michael Penix. Came out of nowhere. We were like, we're going to get whoever we were supposed to get.
Did not come out of nowhere because in the mock draft, who kept taking Michael Penix? Well, I guess I was the Vikings, though, so you're right. Correct.
Nobody had us taking Penix at 8. Nobody had, because we just signed Kirk Cousins to $180 million. Nobody had us taking Penix at 8. The year before, we were supposed to take Jalen Carter or some type of defensive player, and we drafted Bijan. And that came out 2 weeks before, right? They was like, Bijan. Again, the same shit is happening this year.
So what you hear now?
We supposed to get Jalen Walker, or they talking about now. We talking about trading up. We got 5 picks. We talking about trading up to get Jalen Walker. Don't make sense to me. Or we talking about getting, but they have done a sneaky visit. Remember, we sent no offensive coaches to the combine. They did a sneaky visit with Kelvin Banks, the offensive tackle from the Texas Longhorns. And they said he's like the number 2 tackle on the board.
If you do that,
we need all defense.
I agree, but that is the most Bijan Robinson pick that I could have, because it's one of those picks where it's like it probably ain't what I would have done, but it's probably going to be good enough for me to shut up. And specifically with the left-handed quarterback, I can understand how
which means they're gonna trade Caleb McGarry. You have to trade somebody. You just signed Jake Matthews and restructured his contract, so he ain't going nowhere.
No,
so it's only Caleb McGarry.
And I mean, McGarry could go. We saw what happened to him last year. He got took down through there multiple times.
Yeah, but you need defense. You need defense. We need defense. We need it. This draft depends on defense because we ain't signed nobody on offense for real.
And that's for real. And you know that's the same message I sent you in the group was, man, they think that they're just gonna get the defense done by coaching.
No, what do we say? What do we say? What do we say? What do we
don't have the personnel. We don't have that personnel.
That is going to get you fired.
Yep.
We said the same thing with Arthur Smith. We said the same thing with Thomas Dimitroff.
Hey man,
bring the same back, thing with Dan Quinn. That will get you fired.
Bring back Ryan Nielsen. Defense ain't looked the same since he left.
I don't understand it. I hope that's not true, but I'm seeing the trends. I'm seeing it. And bro, if we do that, then we need to trade down. Or we don't need, I tell you one thing, we don't need to goddamn trade up. Talking about the 15th pick, Kyle Pitts, and the 2026 first round pick to move up to 7. No. This draft is too deep to do that. I hope that's all smoke and mirrors. I hope it's all smoke and mirrors. Because I'd be upset if it's not.
I mean, I don't. The Falcons are pretty good about not really communicating what they're doing, which ain't the worst thing, but then they never do what you think that they should do either, which is the right thing. They just do something.
I wouldn't communicate my fuck ups either. What you mean?
Valid point.
But I got a question for you.
Shoot.
Dee Alford, cool. Not really impressed with it. Mike Hughes, not really impressed with it. I would love to see him as the nickelback, really. And one of y'all, Dee Alford or Clark Phillips, going to be the dime, and the other person is going to be special teams or off the field, whatever. Would you take a flyer on Asante Samuel Jr.? He's got ties to Atlanta. He was a good cornerback until he got hurt last year. The last 2 seasons he's been hurt. Last year, I think he played 4 games because he hurt his shoulder. He has not been signed and not been approached.
Nope.
He would be a cheap signing. His talent.
Now, cheap, yes. Cheap, yes. Cheap.
He's cheap.
Oh, now if I can catch a deal on Amazon for $10, $15, I'll roll the dice. I'm not going to be upset. But I'm not going to spend no money. I'm not spending any money. No.
He has to pass the medical background first, which he can do. But at that point, he's gonna have to sign a prove it deal, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's gonna have to sign a 1 or 2 year deal.
I'm willing to do that just to keep the competition high. So yes, I'm cool with that. But I'm not paying you any money. No, I'm not. Same thing. I wouldn't feel right. As much as I joke on the Baltimore Ravens about picking wide receivers past their prime and trying to make them wide receiver ones, even though they haven't played good football in years, I can't do that and then do the same thing for my team. No. Now, if you want to take a cheap prove-it deal, and it is in a very nice city, and it does look like this team has a high-powered offense where as long as y'all can kind of hold it in the road on the defense, it should be solid, then yeah, we can talk. We can have that conversation. But I'm not paying.
Is if we offer him, why I'm assuming when he passes his medical, he's gonna get that prove it deal for multiple teams. And I don't see how Atlanta, with the offseason moves they've made, would convince me if I'm a corner trying to reestablish myself as a 20, 30, $40 million player. If I go a team that ain't got no pass rush, that means I'm be out there covering for 5 seconds.
The other part about it, it depends on if you're good or not. Like, look at a guy like Jesse Bates. He's flourished here. It's about, and
he was flourishing in the Eagles too.
You're right, but there's also the opportunity that I could probably beat everybody. If you go other places, you might have more competition. This is a place where
San Francisco right now, and they have a better D line than we do.
No. But what do the 49ers defensive backs look like?
They just lost. They lost 11 players on defense, and they still
the
good.
other part about the 49ers is
Jets. I go to the Jets. They just lost their second corner. The Jets. They got defense.
Well, the 49ers. The 49ers got some problems.
Yeah, it didn't work. They ain't had no problems. It didn't work. They had 5 years. They did everything they could up to the point where they got to play Purdy.
I think
work.
that they've been too cheap at the quarterback position, and that is their detriment. And I think that just you got to pay the piper like everybody else. You're not going to win a Super Bowl without an elite, and not necessarily elite quarterback, but you can't just get anybody. And they continuously try to get anybody to play that position instead of getting a somebody.
That's their philosophy, though. That's the Shanahan.
But
George Lynch
no.
Philosophy.
The philosophy. Well, the Shanahan was best with John Elway, right?
Not Kyle. Not Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle. Well, let's be real here. Kyle was best with who? Matt Ryan.
Sure. I think he thinks he made Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan was his best with Kyle Shanahan. Too now.
Yeah, but Matt Ryan was also always a top 6, 7, somewhere between 5 to 7 quarterback during a quarterback.
He wasn't no MVP. He wasn't an MVP.
Right. But what I'm saying is Matt Ryan was when you find a guy who's like Brock Purdy's not 5, 6, 7. There's a big difference between 5, 6, 7 and 14. Brock Purdy is
Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Twice.
Right. Which is as good. Like, once again, you're talking about guys who, and I want to give you all the credit in the world. Jimmy Garoppolo to the Super Bowl is magical, bro, but also does not really put you in a position to win.
That's my point. They thought for that time period that they could win without the quarterback. One, and two, they also struck out on Trey Lance. Trey Lance was supposed to be the quarterback.
So
they
my
traded
thing
all them
is,
picks for him, and he didn't work out.
You know my answer is spend the money. Then sign Brock Purdy to whatever you
are.
And the bad part is you have to sign him to a lot. Like, you're gonna have to pay him like a quarterback he isn't.
They're going to pay him 5 years, probably $200 million at the minimum.
I'll drink to that.
$40 million. That's $40 million.
You don't think he's going to get less than
40?
Do you think he's a $40 million quarterback?
Not without all them other players they doesn't let go. Debo, Ayuk about to get traded.
Right.
He's a game manager.
Right.
The show is produced by Creative Logic Solutions. Whether the project is big or small, let Creative Logic Solutions help bring your vision to life. Catch our latest episodes and stay updated with the world of sports by tuning in to the podcast live on Mondays or catch the re-air on Dive Team Media Network, where you can also check out other Dive Team Media content as well. For collaboration, booking information, or any other inquiries, visit our website at www.thesplashcast.com. Every listen, share, and review is appreciated. Until next time.
What should they do? Like, follow, subscribe. Thank you, my friend. Dee Alford.